FEMA is already here with us. They have an incident management team with us. I spoke with Administrator Long just this morning, and we're having frequent conversations. I'm also in daily conversation with the National Hurricane Center, so we're making sure that we've got the latest information. I want to tell you also that everyone, and I do mean everyone, needs to download the ReadyNC app on their smartphones. That's going to tell you stuff about evacuations, sheltering, how to build an emergency kit. Really important for everybody to download that app. And then finally, I'd just like to say, please listen to your local media and please pay attention to what your local officials are telling you. It's very important, especially when those evacuations start getting ordered and moving out to shelters. So thank you very much.
So we'll take questions that you might have for any of the experts on stage or for me. Yes.
Hi, Governor. Maybe you or Mr. Sprayberry could talk about just the idea of, it seems like we've known for a few days now that this was possibly coming. Has it helped in terms of building up resources to prepare for this, given the fact that we've known it just isn't a surprise, I guess is what I'm saying?
I think the fact that this storm and the hurricane modeling has been so consistent over the last few days is fairly unusual, I think. Katie Webster is our meteorologist here who just briefed us, but to have a storm that is pretty much tracking along the same way, and a lot of the models agree. So we do know that we're in the bullseye, and we're using this time, I think, to get all of this together, the equipment that we need, the people that we need, locating our strategic resources. I also talked to Administrator Brock Long, the FEMA administrator, this morning. He is from North Carolina. He knows our state well, and he says that this is going to be a statewide event. So sometimes in the state, and Mike can tell you this, is that you have some equipment, you move from one part of the state to another to make sure you concentrate resources. Here we have more of a problem with that because all parts of the state could be affected by the storm. So it's been important that we've been able to get help from other states, from the federal government. I will be talking with other governors during the day, already had a conversation, and look forward to coordinating our effort. Mike, you got anything to add?
No, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Governor, do you have any idea how the utilities are mobilizing so that they can restore power as soon as possible after the storm passes?
Yeah, the question is about utilities and working to restore power. Mike, I'll let you take that question.
Yes, ma'am. So we know that the electric co-ops and Duke are monitoring this event very closely, as you might imagine. And just like in storms past, they'll be prepared once the storm passed to surge into the area and make the repairs and get the power restored as quickly as possible. I can tell you that over the years, I've been here since 2005, with every year they seem to get better and better at doing that. And so it's going to be a big event, but we know that they're watching it closely, and we know that they'll surge in as soon as it's safe to get there.
I do think when it comes to utilities, families need to be ready, to be prepared to be without power for a while, and this is why we are urging people to have their emergency kits and to be ready for this. Yes.
Yeah, I wondered if we're going to see more inland evacuations, if that's what Mr. Sprayberry was referring to, with the new LIDAR, flood mapping and all that. I wonder if we're going to be a little bit more proactive inland.
The good thing with our strategic modeling is that we have a better idea when you know what the storm's path is going to be and you know the specific conditions as to what areas are most likely to flood. So local officials will have that information as they make decisions regarding whether they evacuate certain areas of our inland counties. Mike, would you want to add something to that?
So, yes, sir. I think that what you're talking about, just this morning we had a discussion about targeted evacuations along the Neuse, Lumber, and Tara rivers. And we're doing that modeling right now because we want them. It's very difficult right now because as a hurricane makes landfall, it's difficult to understand, what it's going to do after that. They call it the decay of the hurricane. And so, but we are anticipating a great amount of precipitation. So we want to be able to provide our local partners with some really specific data as far as structures on who needs to evacuate. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I wonder, as we get going here, can you give us an idea how many people are on call or are already working? You're going to give us some time with their families. Like just a ton of people, and I just wonder how big is a ton?
There's a lot of people in all these departments, but Mike, you want to take that, or Eric, one of you guys?
I'm going to have to say right now it'd be thousands because you have all of your state highway patrol. You've got National Guardsmen. You've got a couple of hundred already on duty, and you got several thousand already on alert to be pulled in. We've got public health, volunteer agencies, so various stages of actually working and on alert and actually coming in. So it's, it'd be hard to give you an exact number, but a good question. Thanks.
Another thing to point out is most of these counties have their own emergency operations going on. So they have a lot of personnel, local personnel that have been mobilized. And the good thing about our efforts is that we coordinate closely with our local governments. And Mike is constantly on the phone. I even talk to county commissioners and others to make sure that everyone is coordinating. Other questions anybody might have? All right, unfortunately, we will be back at some point. Thanks.